Over the past couple of days, one hot topic in the US stock market has been the IPO of stablecoin giant Circle. On June 5th, it debuted on the NYSE and surged 168% on its first trading day. Then on June 6th, it jumped another 29.4%. Lately, everyone seems to be talking about stablecoins. But what exactly are they? Let me explain it to you today. Some people may have overestimated the role of stablecoins. They believe stablecoins could replace fiat and circulate globally, becoming a true world currency. But in reality, that's far from the truth. Right now, stablecoins are essentially an extension of sovereign currencies within the crypto ecosystem. They're backed by sovereign credit, not a brand new type of money. That might sound a bit complex and hard to grasp. So let me give you a simple example to help make it clear and easier to understand. Let's take the world's biggest stablecoin USDT as an example. It's not some new currency made out of thin air. Its issuer is licensed and regulated by the US Treasury. That's why it can issue it. So not just anyone can create a stablecoin like that. Secondly, each USDT issued must be backed by $1 in cash or an equivalent amount of US Treasury bonds held in a custodial account. The underlying assets are dollars and the treasuries, not newly created money. So each USDT is tied to a real dollar or a treasury bond that's held in a secure, regulated account. That's what gives it stability. Each coin is fully backed one-to-one with actual US dollars. This one-to-one backing keeps its value steady against the US dollar. That's a defining trait of stability, and that's why USDT can stay stable. Each USDT is backed by $1 in cash or by a US Treasury bond behind it, which makes USDT a global medium of exchange capable of functioning internationally. That's its main role. If USDT fluctuates too much, say one moment it's $2 and next it drops to $0.5, then it can't function as a currency or serve the three core roles of money. It loses the key attributes of real currency. So what are the three main functions of money? First, a unit of account. Second, a medium of exchange and a store of value. Stablecoins don't fully meet this area. They lack all three. They simply don't. So we can conclude stablecoins like USDT are essentially cryptos pegged to the US dollar. Not a new form of currency, they are just extensions of the dollar in crypto form. They reinforce the dollar-based global monetary system and still rely on US dollar backing as sovereign support. At this point, the only globally accepted non-sovereign currency is gold. It requires no credit backing. Some may ask, will the rise of stablecoins undermine the value of gold? Looking at the underlying assets, stablecoins are backed by the US dollar and US treasuries. So any risk tied to the dollar also applies to stablecoin. If US treasuries were to crash if the dollar became worthless, then stablecoins would also become worthless. That's why despite the current hype over stablecoins and their strong debut, with heavy market attention and investor pursuit, their upward trend continues. That momentum is still going. The key reason is their built-in advantages. Stablecoin transactions are entirely executed on the blockchain, no banks involved, and transfers are nearly instant. In places like ours, we don't really feel the difference because banks are everywhere. But in remote areas or certain regions like parts of Africa, their banking systems are underdeveloped and in some cases unsafe. This leads to significant risks in trade settlements. It becomes problematic, but with stablecoins, both sides of a transaction can settle directly with one another. Whether it's domestic or international, they can communicate peer to peer. No intermediaries needed, which facilitates smoother trade. As a result, it helps extend the reach of the dollar system to remote regions, and the hype around stablecoins like Circle has sparked significant excitement. The whole world is watching stablecoins now. It's opened the door to an entirely new opportunity, a new market window. If you missed the EV boom, if you missed the AI wave, then now you're facing a fresh opportunity. Will you let this one slip too? That's why the buzz is so strong right now. Market attention is red hot. But what should we keep in mind? If you're following Circle, if you're looking into stablecoins, and you believe in their value, then you must think through it rationally. If you want to get involved, you must first understand what stablecoins really are and know exactly what value they offer. we need to understand the stablecoin's value comes from the assets it's pegged to. In Circle's case, that asset is the US dollar. So the question is, can it maintain full dollar reverse to back it? If the US overissues stablecoins, meaning they issue more than the actual dollar reverse, then market confidence in dollar redemption could drop because it dilutes the value. That's overissuance, and once that happens, the coin may no longer be pegged. Overissued, value diluted, it falls below $1. That's a problem. Just like printing too much money, it causes inflation. That shakes market stability and damages trust in the coin's value. So why issue more stable coins? The US might be aiming to ease its debt pressure. Debt solution. In the short run, printing more dollars or coins may help with repayments, but long term it erodes value stability. Over-insurance kills trust in the system. It could lead to systematic financial risks. So in the end, the future of stablecoins depends on transparent insurance, reverse control, and dollar trust. If mismanaged, they could lose their peg and collapse in value, hurting both domestic and global economies. So, if you're trying to profit from Circle stablecoins, you must be cautious. Don't just follow the hype, avoid being swept by market emotion. Yes, it has clear advantages, but don't only focus on the positives. Understand what it's tied to because its value comes from the asset behind it. If the US overissues, that value takes a hit, and so does your investment. So, no matter how much hype the market is showing right now, you need to stay rational. At this stage, even though the enthusiasm is strong, even heated, it's clearly emotionally charged. And when things are this hyped, don't get swept up by it. Wait for the market to cool down, to calm and normalize. Then look for your chance. It's not that there's no opportunity in Circle. There definitely is. This is a major future direction, but when you seek out opportunities, timing is everything. With its recent rally, Circle's short-term momentum is likely to continue a bit longer. It's not done yet. The hype is still strong right now. In the broader US market, yes, there are opportunities, but none are huge. Because uncertainty remains high, too many unknowns are in play. Meanwhile, this IPO became a breakout event. It gave the market a fresh focus and attention far above any other current topic, much higher. The overall market right now is showing signs of instability. Why do I say that? Because this Wednesday we're expecting a critical data release. That's a CPI inflation data. So before that data becomes clear, there will be some hesitation in the market, especially with ongoing concerns like tariffs. Although recently leaders from China and the US have sent some positive signals, the question remains, can those talks succeed? Can they reach any agreement, any meaningful consensus at all? That's still up in the air, so the market remains uncertain and unclear. When opportunities seem unclear, that's when something like Circle stablecoin takes the spotlight. It suddenly becomes a hot topic and naturally draws a lot of attention. That's highly sensational, very persuasive. That's why it's generating serious buzz. So after going public, its momentum is likely to continue. Should we consider getting in now? It might be worth it. There's value in participating, but be careful. Don't go overboard. Avoid going all in. Take the current price about $107. Should we wait for a better entry point? Look for more favorable timing. Right now, if we zoom in to a shorter time frame, especially the 30-minute chart, there is a clear need for a pullback. So you could wait for that dip once the short-term chart shows a clear correction because the long-term trend is still upward. But short-term, there's room to drop. After all, it just went public and the rally has been strong, which means some profit taking is expected. Let the early profit takers sell off their loose shares first. Once that's done, then we can look for our entry. Right now, it's probably the hottest topic out there. The market is all hyped about stable coins because there's nothing else to speculate on, right? After all, there are not any other opportunities with clear momentum or strong catalyst. Nothing exciting to drive a rally, no highly sensitive setups. But on the other hand, stablecoins do have that kind of potential. This one is the first of its kind. It's the first stablecoin to go public, and with that comes a certain level of institutional credibility. The backing is strong, which means it's created a clear market spotlight. and it's drawing investor attention, so it's become a breakout theme, and that opens up a short-term window. But remember, you still need to find the right and safe time to enter, right? So right now, if you look at the 30-minute chart, it clearly shows a need for pullback, so we can wait for it to stabilize, watch for the MACD indicator to form a bullish crossover. If selling momentum starts to fade, that's when the setup comes. Later on, we will wait for a clear topping signal because right now it's only been trading for 2 days. So from a technical standpoint, there's very limited data. But we can still spot short-term setups using smaller time frames. So let's use the 30-minute as an example. If it keeps pulling back for a while and eventually forms a structure like this, something that clearly bottoms out and builds a recognizable reversal pattern, then a short term opportunity may arise. That's when you could consider entering. As for the exact price level where this happens, we can't give a precise figure just yet, but we need to wait and see it unfold, wait for the market to review it. So, yes, there's potential here, but proper risk control is crucial. Opportunities always come with risks. Don't just see the upside and ignore the downside. Now is not the time to go all in. Even though it's getting lots of buzz and attention from the market, the hype and the speculation are still strong. They haven't cooled off yet. It's a solid breakout point, but still stay cautious and steady. Wait for the right setup. The pullback has just started, so a near-term correction is likely. Wait until we see a technical signal, like we mentioned, a bottom reversal. That bottom signal means it may have found support and could be ready to reverse upward. So at that point, it may resume its prior uptrend. After pullback, the earlier rally could continue. Alright, that wraps up a quick breakdown of the stablecoin that's been getting a lot of attention. That's a quick analysis. If you have more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.